The views expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect those of this station.
Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those in the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Welcome to this edition of Insights, everybody. I'm Marissa McKay, and joining me today are 3 of the 5 candidates vying for the 2 open seats on Alpena City Council. Joining me first is Susan Nielsen. How are you, Susan?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for joining me today. And I think the first question that everybody would like to know, especially somebody in your position, is why run for Alpena City Council?
Well, that's a big question. From all of my life, I have believed and participated in volunteerism, and I've always lived in communities about the size of Alpena, and I've always been able to see a great need for volunteers and for people who are willing to invest in the community. And I think it's one of the happiest things that I do. I've always been community oriented. Volunteering is very important to me. I served on the Plan Commission, which is a volunteer position, for 16 years.
Wow.
And I was able to learn so much about our local city government and it's the nice people that are there and the wonderful giving people that are there. And when the seat became available, several friends encouraged me to try and be appointed. Even my husband said, you really should try this if you think you'd enjoy it. And I decided I would. It takes a little bit of energy and a little bit of time, but right now I have that, and I'm ready to go.
All right. And how do you think that your position with the Planning Commission and also your work over at the Boys and Girls Center here in Alpena, how do you think that has really kind of prepared you for this role?
Well, I think it's important for people to know you. And if people see you on a weekly basis or sometimes a daily basis and have a chance to interact with you, soon they get to know who you are. And they make those decisions. This is a person I trust. This is a person I believe will do a good job for me. Or they make another decision. And so many people who are in and out of the Boys and Girls Club, donors and board members and parents, especially parents, have been very positive about this little adventure and very encouraging and supportive. And so that's the way I think it's impacted me. The same for the Plan Commission. I've made some very good friends by being on that Plan Commission. Knowledgeable people who have Alpena at the center when they make decisions. And those are the people that I gravitate to and the people that I listen to. And they too have encouraged me to run and to try hard to work with the council that's there to do the right thing for our city. And so I'm excited. I think this is very rewarding, very rewarding.
And as you said, definitely a next adventure for you in your life. You know, your kids are grown and they've moved on, so this is a way for you to kind of keep busy in a community.
Well, that's true, and it's a way to give back. I don't remember a time in my life that I haven't volunteered. As a child, starting in the church, our parents always would ensure that we had transportation to the church to volunteer, and I belonged to the YMCA as a kid. That we didn't have a Boys and Girls Club, and so we volunteered there some. And it has just been a part of my life, my whole life, and I really believe that I have something to give back. This is the next step for me, and I'm anxious to do it. The City Council did appoint me to the seat now, to the seat that was open.
To fill temporarily.
Right. Temporarily until the election on February 26th. And they appointed me with 23 out of a possible 24 votes. And I believe that sends the message to me that we believe we can work with you, and we believe that you can pick this ball up and keep running with it, just like the rest of them had to. And that was a big vote of confidence for me, and something that I prize and I cherish, and something I'll take care of forever.
All right, great. And now moving into what are some of the platforms and what are some of the things that you're really excited to work on? I'm sure that there are a bunch, but if you could just kind of give the top ones that you're really, really excited about.
Sure. Well, first of all, I believe that Alpena deserves a council member who will strengthen the community through professional, respectful communication and honesty and coordination with our partners. And one of the most important partners is the community. That is who we serve. It's not the other way around. The community is not there at our beck and call. We serve the community. And I will try and will be that person who serves all by dealing with everyone in a professional and respectful manner. That is required of a good public servant. And again, I want to emphasize it's required for a public servant, and that is what we are. I take pride in Alpena. It's been my pleasure to live here for 25 of the last 27 years, and that's been by choice. And I take so much pride in Alpena, and I will work hard always to ensure that Alpena is proud of me. I also believe in important partners are people who can advance Alpena on 3 levels: the industrial level, the business level, and the tourism level. But we have to partner with them and be willing to work as hard as they do. And that would be the Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Development Authority, and of course the Convention and Visitors Bureau. I know most of the folks in these organizations. I have high regard for them. I've known Mary Beth Stutzman since she was a child. She and one of my daughters were close friends, and I've always admired Mary Beth's ability to get along with people. She is a wonderful young woman, and I'm so happy that Alpena will have her here. She'll do a lot for the community, and I'm excited to try to work with her as well. We also we need council members for all of the people, everybody, who will treat the whole community with dignity and respect. I am committed to being that kind of a council person, and I am committed to the citizens in this town.
All right, great. No, I think that those are all really great points. And as you mentioned, you guys, you are being elected to serve a community. So I think it's great that you hit on those points. And now moving forward, what are some of the current projects that, because of your temporary position, City Council's addressing that you're really excited and would really like to continue moving forward?
The first thing to me is we need to hire a city manager. And that is a very good opportunity for us to make the next step forward. I'm excited to help with that if I can, to work with other council members, to help anybody in any way that I can ensure that we nail that. We deserve that. Alpena deserves the city manager that that they need to help us advance. I've had some experience in personnel work. In my job right now at the Boys and Girls Club, I do the hiring and the firing and the record keeping and go to the classes and the payroll. And so I do understand some of the ins and outs, if you will, of interviewing, knowing people just based on the sketchy pieces of an interview. And that's something that's exciting to me, and something certainly worthwhile, all of our efforts. I like the plaza idea. I think that's a nice project. I think we have a way to go on that. We need to study that. We need to talk to people, especially business owners who are around the plaza. We need to talk to other people, and they need to come to us and say, here's what we think. And they've had that opportunity, really. And now, Susan, why do you think, and just if you could just give me one sentence, why should people vote for you over some of the other candidates? People should vote for me because of my experience. I've been involved with city government, this government, for 16 years. And I believe I bring a certain balance, if you will, to City Council. And again, the council did appoint me with 23 of 24 votes, and I believe that they think I would be a good person to work with, and so I look for everybody's support. All right, well, thank you so much, Susan, for joining me today. And if you guys stay tuned, next we'll hear from Mike Nowick, another candidate for City Council. Welcome back, everybody. Joining me now is Mike Nowick, another council candidate. Now, Mike, why are you running for City Council? Susan talked a little bit about her background, so tell me how you ended up here in Alpena and why you decided to run.
Well, one of the first things about that question is that probably is the most popular question that I get asked. I've been out meeting people, knocking on doors, and having meet and greets all over town. And that's the most popular question. The reason I'm running is basically, years ago, I worked on the Alpena Merchants Board, and I was the president of that board for several years. So that kind of gave me an interest in leadership. I'm currently working right now on a leadership board for the corporation that I'm in, and so that kind of gave me a background to be able to accomplish goals, basically in a group setting. A lot of it really came on being able to give something back to the community. I've been working with the Junior Achievement Board as a teacher consultant now for 18 years, and I just saw this as another way to give back to the community. One of the things I've always taught my kids and learned from my family is that if you want to live in a great city, you need to be a great citizen. And so this is something that I believe I've got some great skills at, and I believe I can help Alpena move forward.
All right, great. And you're from here, born and raised, you mentioned?
Born and raised right here in Alpena. Grew up in the French Road area for years, and then basically migrated into the city, and have been here my entire adult life.
Right, and so this is just another way for you to help a city that you've seen go through many changes, I'm sure, just being here your whole life.
It is. I actually remember the city when I was younger, all of the factories and all of the opportunities that were here.
Right.
When I graduated from high school, you had a choice if you wanted to go to college, or you could work in one of the factories and have those opportunities. Currently, we don't have a lot of those same opportunities we had when I was younger.
Right.
I want to bring that back into Alpena and bring those industries up and so on.
And maybe keep some of the younger people who are leaving Alpena to find work, give them an opportunity to stay.
Exactly. One of the driving factors that I have is when this started for me, I actually was talking to my daughter about how I believe she needed to find a way to give back. And I realized then that a lot of us, like myself, are raising families in here, and our kids are graduating, and there's not a lot of opportunities for them here, and I want to be able to provide a choice. If they choose to leave Alpena, it's because they choose to, not because they feel they have to, because there is no opportunity here for them.
Great. And so do you think that that really helps you identify with all the other parents in this community, that aspect?
I think so. I think it's because, you know, all of my kids, and I have 5 kids, you know, 4 were raised here. One's adopted me and he lives down in Arkansas now. But they're all looking for opportunities in this area. My son, Ryan, basically is still in this area and is working 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
Wow.
My son, Eleazar, actually had to move down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, actually in Miami now, and again, looking for opportunities in the retail industry. He had to move to a bigger city. So.
Right. Okay, and now going forward, you did mention some of the things that you're excited about and some of the things you'd like to work towards. So what are some platforms that you'd like to share with voters, some things that you're really passionate about that really prompted you to run for City Council?
First and foremost is I wanted to be a strong voice for the citizens of Alpena. I wanted to give them a voice. One of the things that I kind of hold pride in myself of being able to do is ask questions to understand others' points of view and then bring that forward. At my current job, I work with a whole sales team. I always, you know, understand what they feel are necessary changes we need to make, and then bring that up to the leadership board so we can move our company forward. And I'm able to communicate that. So I'm a strong communicator. Some of the things that I really strongly believe in is we've got great city services here in Alpena right now, but I want to maintain those and I want to expand those. And of course, we have challenges with decreasing revenue and increasing cost.
Right.
But I think the thing that can really help us increase those is by expanding the opportunities for jobs in Alpena. First and foremost, I want to work with the local companies and basically understand how we can help them expand their payrolls anywhere from 3% to 5% and increase opportunities for our citizens. I want to work with the Target Development Corporation and get the word out on Alpena that if you have a product to manufacture, Alpena is the place to be. And I want to get the word out not only to companies here in Michigan, but I want to really get that out to the United States. Working in the industry, in having an industrial background, I hear a lot of times about companies that are looking for new homes, and I want to be able to target that on Alpena. And finally, I want to really work on, you know, the tourist industry. That's a vital industry for the city of Alpena. I want to work with the Chamber on getting the Pure Michigan campaign to focus on Alpena. I see Alpena as being a regional leader in the area of tourism. I want a lot of people to visit here. I want them to enjoy the beautiful sunrises like you featured the other night on your broadcast, and just maybe make this their home, because it is just such a beautiful place. I'm very passionate about Alpena.
Right, well, I can tell you're very passionate, so that's great that that's coming across. And then, what are you currently doing? I mean, you're not on City Council right now, so you're trying to be elected. So what are the things that you've been doing to really sort of get the word out and get people excited about your platforms and why you should be elected?
As I stated earlier, I'm hosting a lot of meet and greets all over the city of Alpena. I'm going door to door, meeting as many people as we can. We're attending many different events on basically just to meet people and put the face to the name, getting out. Other than that, I'm meeting with a lot of groups in the city to really understand the city issues, so that when I'm elected, I basically can hit the ground running. Anywhere from meeting with the unions to understand the needs of the individuals to the groups. So I have a baseline basically when I get in there, as well as the individual groups that are living, working in the civic groups in Alpena, to understand their needs as well.
Right, so you're really trying to hit all the different demographics we have here, as you said, you know, from the perspective of a parent to the perspective of a union member, of somebody in industry, and to perspective of teachers and people at ACC as well, some of these other big groups we have here.
Yes, that's correct.
Great. And so, Mike, there are 5 people running. You're one of 5. So why should voters put the time and decide to check your name on the ballot?
I think one of the things that I bring is that I have 26 years of business leadership. And I have a great decision-making process that I go through, and every decision that I've ever made over the last several years, and even back to when I was a president of the Merchants Association, I'm discerning. I basically always seek to understand before I seek to be understood. I want to understand exactly your view. I want to look for the third alternative so we can find common ground and move forward. I'm reflective. I look for similar decisions in the past, understand the history of the decision, and then I look at my decisions, how they're going to impact our community 5, 10 years down the road. I also am decisive. When I make a decision to go forward, I put in place an action plan and basically put together all the tasks that need to make that happen. So those are the reasons. The other thing, too, is that for myself, I am about people, not politics. I'm about issues and not parties. I just really believe that I've got a strong background and really want the best for this community.
All right, well, thanks so much, Mike, for joining me here on Insights this morning. And if you guys stay tuned, finally, on this edition of Insights, we will hear from candidate Phil Weiser. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Insights, everybody. Joining me now for this final segment is Phil Weiser, another candidate for City Council. Hi, Phil. How are you?
Hi, Marissa.
Okay, good. Thanks for joining me today. So the first question I have for you is, why are you running for City Council, and how did you get here in Alpena that prompted you to run?
Okay, well, this is my hometown, and I'm really concerned about this town and where we're going as the future for the city. So.
Born and raised here, ended up here?
I wasn't born here, but I consider it my home. I moved here with my family when I was young, and graduated from Alpena High. Served 3 years in the Army, Vietnam tour. Came back, graduated with honors from ACC in Ferris State, and went into police work. And I retired as a sergeant from the Alpena Police Department. And after I retired from the force, I began teaching and taught 8 years at the Alpena Community College Criminal Justice Program. And now I'm working on a book project.
Very cool. So you had a lot of involvement with the city in a bunch of different ways.
I do, yeah.
So do you think that that's really prepared you for a role like a city councilman?
I think so. I know the people. I think I know what the people want. I'm familiar with the city and the operations and the streets and everything. So.
Right, from your work as a police officer?
Yes.
Were you with the city of Alpena?
Yes.
Okay, so you know the ins and outs of the roads that you would be councilman of?
Yes.
Okay, great. And so what are some of the platforms and some of the big things you're really excited about?
I wrote down a few notes here on it. I'm really, I'd like to see the city council facilitate to the extent possible the creation of new businesses in the town. Make it easy for new businesses to open and create jobs where that's possible. Also, you know, our police and fire department are excellent entities. They're professionally run and maintained. They provide excellent service. And I think the voters of this town has proved consistently throughout the years that they don't want council messing with them. They don't want them to merge. They don't want a public safety director. They don't want them to be fanned out into the county or anything like that. We have a police chief and a fire chief who are very capable men and answerable to council, and I think that's what the people want. They want local control, and they want, when someone's kicking in a door, they want a cop right now. And the same thing with when their house is on fire. And they don't want to hear excuses. And our ambulance service is second to none in this area. I think we don't need a bunch of administrators. We don't need a public safety director. We don't need a bunch of new administrative positions. Let the police chief and fire chief do their jobs, and they're going to do them well. Other things, I think the council should aggressively support the branding idea. I think it's a great idea.
Right, the Sanctuary of the Great Lakes.
Sanctuary of the Great Lakes. And also partner with the Chamber and the CVB to market Alpena in a better way. I think Pure Michigan campaign has shown it's a success. We should continue the support of that. I think we should also invest in some more advertising, like the AAA magazine, or come out with our own magazine of the whole area of northeastern Michigan and partner with other communities, sort of like the west side of the state does. Excellent things.
Right, and as you said, there are some proven results there.
Absolutely. So that's some of my ideas. I think a lot of people were disappointed with the brush and grass and leaf pickup schedule. It was reduced to almost like once a year. And sure, the DPW has the Long Lake facility for people to drop off leaves. Not everybody has trucks. And I've heard that consistently from a lot of citizens. They want at least 3 times a year that happen.
So what I'm hearing from you is a lot of your work is going to be you just really want to be an advocate for the everyday person who lives here in Alpena.
I want to be a voice for the common citizen in Alpena on the council. Because I don't think that it's been transparent enough. And a lot of people in this town don't feel their concerns are being answered.
And so that's what you'd like to do, is be able to answer their concerns and address them appropriately.
Yes.
And how are some ways that you're working towards that right now? So you're currently not on council, but what are you doing to really show people that you're the guy for this job? Well,
I'm still active with the community. I serve on the City Retirement Board. I'm an active member of the Air Force Association, and also the Wings Over Alpena with the air shows. We've had 3 successful air shows.
I got to fly in a plane actually this summer, so I thought it was a great time.
Yeah, great time. Puts Alpena on the map. People love air shows, and they come out. Other things, I'm active with the college in a supportive way now. I'm super excited to see the improvements at the college. Even though enrollment is down, this is a cyclical thing. It's nothing to worry about. ACC has always been there. It'll snap back, and I look for great things from ACC. I'm really excited about the NOAA and the Great Lakes Maritime Museum. I think it's an excellent tourist thing, and it really is a magnet for tourists. We need those dollars coming in. And I'm also excited about the cooperation of our council with the county government and working with this air base.
Yes.
The CRTC is a great friend of Alpena, and they feel the same way about the city with them at the base. So this development of the drone project, if we get that, it's going to have a spin-off effect for many jobs, which is desperately needed in this area. So, and I'm very active with the Military Support Committee at the base. So
there's a lot of ways that you feel that you've already been involved in things that moving forward could be really beneficial to somebody on council.
Yes.
And so, Phil, there are 5 people running for this position. 2 will be chosen, 3 will not. Why do you feel that you need to be one of the 2 elected?
Well, good question.
I'm sure it's a tough one because it's hard to...
Well, because Number one, I was concerned that not enough people would show interest in city government, and I was very pleased to see how many really good people showed up. I'm pleased about that. The other thing is they chose to, the council chose to, and I would rather have the people make their choice, and then I'll be satisfied. So that's basically why.
Right. And why do you think that you're a good person for the job?
Well, I'm a veteran. I've been around. I'm a retired police sergeant, taught at the college. I think I have the background in education to serve the people well, and I want to be their voice.
All right, great. And so, Phil, if people have any other questions for you or want to learn more about you or what you stand for, how could they do that?
Well, I'm in the book. 356-1482 is my home number, and just got some yard signs. I didn't order a whole lot of them because I'm not a real big fan of yard signs, but many people requested yard signs, so I got some coming. So.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining me today, Phil. Yeah,
nice
thanks so much. You too. And for all of you watching out there, we will feature Mike Pollock and Steve Gilmore, the final two candidates running for Alpena City Council, next week, February 3rd. Stay tuned.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. If you have any comments, suggestions, or topics you would like to see on a future show, please email WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.